Sports with John Rozier right here on Hollywood North Radio.
Here, what's good? It's Norman Bruce.
Oh, nice.
And John Rozier.
We started the conversation earlier about what was going on.
We got John in the house. He's going to talk about sports.
That's right.
We do sports every week right here on Hollywood North Radio.
Yeah. That was Quiet Storm just pumping in some jams right there for us.
Doing his thing.
Yeah, that's what's up. Quiet Storm, what's good?
Yeah, now.
Yeah. And we got AB. That's right. We got AB in the house as well.
Got John Rozier in the building,
That's
doing his
right.
thing like he always do.
And right between us, like a perfectly made Oreo cookie, we got Demitri Harris in the building, y'all.
I don't know what to do with my hands. Like, what do I do with my hands?
You go by Demitri, what you like to be called?
Sosa.
Sosa.
Okay.
Okay.
In New York.
Okay.
We got a lot of cameras here. I like this.
Yeah, look wherever you want to look. There's a camera literally everywhere. Wow. What do you got going on here? What you need, fam? Okay, so this whole segment will be what's good in sports. As I said, Demitri Harris will be our special guest throughout. We will get some perspective on the NBA from him because there's lots of things going on that I would like to dive into with him. But first and foremost, let's just jump into who you are. Welcome to the show, my man.
What's going on, man? My name's Demi.
Yeah.
I'm a shooter. I'm a champion. But most of all, I'm actually, I don't really know what most of all I am. But
There was a big lead up to
I
that.
really like basketball.
Well, first, the one thing I want to get from you, being an athlete, a player, and a coach, what is that transition like? Because I always wonder how players transition into being a coach. Like, it's one thing to be a captain on your team. It's one thing to be a leader in your position group. But to now be in charge of not only shaping the direction of the team, but also molding the players that are underneath you. Yes. Talk a little bit about that transition.
Hey, before you say that, man, this dude is a baller.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Bro, he played for the Vancouver Knights.
We will get into that.
Bro, I'm telling you, he make it look so easy. We played at Kiss Beach. We played at different gyms. He make it look easy, bro. And I done seen some ballers. I didn't play with guys like Earl Watson. I done play some other guys in the NBA. This dude make it look easy. You know, where I come from, you know, if you can ball, you really, you can ball.
Hell
and this
yeah.
dude got it, man. And now he's teaching young kids how to play ball, and he has fun with it, too. That's what makes it even sweeter about what he does. You got to check him out, man.
Hey, thank you very much, Arlen, and I appreciate you, man.
Sleep's fucking up everything.
Sleeps, what do you got going
hooping
on
out there
here,
too, man? Threes on
You're
deck.
mad distracting.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, shit.
Anyways, man, that was a really good question. I actually think about that a lot. Being a player, I mean, I'm a little bit more of an individual, right?
Yeah.
Like, trying to get my stuff. I play on a lot of teams where teamwork is definitely important. But overall, I'm always with myself, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm actually a skills coach. I don't do teams too much.
Okay.
I like to empower youth and anybody, actually, adults as well, to learn skills and use skills. And if you're a shooter, be a shooter, right? If you're a slasher, be a slasher.
Yeah.
Arlen's wet. Like, he's wet.
Yeah,
you find him, he's going to hit the shot.
Exactly.
And I just love that about basketball. Everybody can almost find their own way. It's amazing. Yeah.
So you like to tap into everyone's own creativity,
Hopefully.
basically.
Yeah, hopefully, you know. With the older ages, you usually get a little bit of ego, and it gets kind of tough, you know, and I have my own ego issues, right? So, but with I usually do the younger, and they're so great to just see them kind of blossom as young men and women. Yeah.
That's dope. Okay, so there is a few players in the NBA. I want to get your perspective before we jump into a little bit more about you. There's a few players in the NBA, young players and pretty dominant players in their own regard.
Yeah.
That are, I know we're getting some mad feedback.
A little bit of feedback. That's
that are trying to develop a shot. Now you, with someone that has as clean a shot as you got, you're nice with it from range and everything like that. So with somebody like Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
And Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah.
Let's even say Markelle Fultz. Mm-hmm. Three players that are physically dominant on the floor with their abilities in all different ways, but especially when it comes to Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
I think what we saw when they ran into the Raptors was how limited he was when it came to a jump shot. So now you as a natural shooter, you as a dominant shooter in your own regard, how do you go about coaching somebody that has the potential but isn't quite there yet?
That's another great question, man. Yeah.
Thank you, man.
You came prepared. For sure, no one is automatically a shooter. I was never a shooter. I was an athletic guy, and I relied on it. I think Ben Simmons and Antetokounmpo kind of were too.
Yeah.
But you have to use your strength first.
Exactly.
So to teach them, and I do this all the time, I would start with the fundamentals, give them the base. They're going to learn as they want to, right? They're still getting millions off of dunks and attacking the hoop, right? They're going to get older. Their knees are going to start to go. But if you get the fundamentals, cleaning up the imperfections and making it consistent, and listening to your mentors. I got a lot of shooting mentors. I listen to guys like Arlen and Gene Wolfe all the time. Flick your wrist, they say. It took me 2 years to get it, right?
Yeah.
Finally clicked, and now I am actually getting a couple shots in once in a while. Thinking,
Okay, cool. So there is hope for some of those players, like the ones I mentioned, and for players like Lonzo Ball that came into the league with a really odd shot. It worked for him in college, but he found problems with it, I think, in the pros, just with the way that people were defending him. But it looks like he's already started to undergo that change shot-wise.
Yeah, he wanted to.
Yeah.
Is it hard to change your jump shot if you've been doing it for over 20, 25 years, and then somebody says you need to change your shot? Is it
100%.
Is it a tough adjustment?
It's tough, man.
Yeah.
We all think we know everything.
Yeah.
Right? And when you change it, you start to miss, right? Because you're changing something. But if you get it consistent and you see the results, then you buy in, and that's what it is about.
Totally, and I think that's what we have seen with someone like Markelle Fultz, where in college his shot was one way, he got hurt, and then he came into the pros and he changed his shot, and I think he's still in the process of changing his shot and finding what works. So we're seeing that struggle play out, and I think it was a little bit too tough for him in Philly. That's a big microscope to figure your shot out in. But now it seems like he's on the right path in Orlando. So that as far as that kind of gets that out of the way, that perspective on coaching shots like that with people that are already in it or maybe are just getting into it now, for yourself and your own development as a player, is that something that came from an internal drive, or were there players that you modeled your game after?
Yeah, I definitely model after a lot of players, amateur and pro and NBA, everything. I definitely try to pick certain traits of guys and use them to get a little bit better. Every day I try to get a little better. I wouldn't say I'm there yet. I'm still kind of putting it together, and then you have to put it together for the hardest games.
Yeah.
Like you can play in the open gyms in the men's league and work on your craft.
Yeah.
And then you take it to the next level, and it hits you in the face. You got to go back to the fundamentals when someone who's 6'7" from Russia is guarding you. It's just like holy. Yeah. You got to bring it all together, kind of.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Do you think the Raptors can repeat?
Man, Siakam looking nice, bro. They're looking tough.
Yeah,
They're looking tough.
Let's speak to that a little bit. What's your perspective on? Because I think there's a lot of people that are really surprised by what the Raptors have going on right now. Wow, obviously, minus Danny Green and Kawhi Leonard, but. What do you see going on in Pascal Siakam right now? Because he's really grown in his time in the NBA, but it seems like he's made a huge jump coming out of last season.
Well, he had a great mentor, I'm sure, with Kawhi Leonard for a whole year, learning from him, seeing how he did it, and now he's just emulating him amazingly. The thing I'm worried about is draft trade deadline.
Yeah.
That's coming, man.
Yeah, it is.
And they need one more piece, two more pieces, and dang, they might take the Bucks out.
There you go. So put your GM hat on for a second. If you were Masai Ujiri, what would be that piece? You don't have to say a player in specific, but maybe just like a piece to kind of accentuate the game they already have. What would you be looking for to help the Raptors get to that point where they're over the hump now?
I see the tide of the game turning to a guy who can score and play defense.
Okay.
It's turning into like the most valuable trait after Kawhi showed that he could do that. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
And now teams are loading up with defenders and also offenders. I guess that's not a very good expression, but yeah. I could see them getting some solid guy. PG's taken, but he would be, and Kawhi obviously was amazing.
And Kawhi, yeah.
So isn't Boston in the East leading right now?
That's right. I was gonna wear my Celtics hat, but the Michigan Wolverines, as you can see, I'm wearing their hat, are playing the Michigan State Spartans right now.
Big Ten, baby.
And I'm mad superstitious, especially about college football. So like when Michigan's going up against certain schools, I cannot wear that color just out of pure superstition. So there's no green on me right now. So anyway, the Celtics are sitting atop the East right now. The Celtics are dominating right now.
Dang.
They're actually, last night they just had win number 10 out of 10 in a row right there. They're putting it on.
What's going on, man? There's some fans. Hey, how you doing? No, just one.
Yeah, this Sosa right here.
So what
This
I
is
want to
so
ask
awesome.
you, actually, as a Celtics fan, obviously my own regard, I have this question, but I have my own inklings about it too. But it seems that there is a huge difference in the Boston Celtics from having the style they played with last year. Obviously, they had holdovers from the season without some of the stars. You know what I mean? And Gordon Hayward got injured right off the bat. Unfortunately, he got injured again here. And then Kyrie Irving, obviously, was who the team was supposed to be moving through last year. Now they have a different setup to that team. They've given players like Jaylen Brown a little bit more leeway, Jason Tatum, and obviously you got Kemba Walker. Do you think that that's locker room presence playing out where the team is more whole, they're more on the same page, and that's what we're seeing on the court? Or do you think it's just like the styles of those players gel together more?
I think it was there was a bunch of young guys trying to get to the top, and then the top guys were kind of not letting them in, right? So again, they learned from them, kicked them out, and then now they're doing real well. They do got a young base, but man, Tatum's nice.
Tatum is
He's
nice.
nice with it, man.
Yeah.
But first and foremost, I'm a Laker fan, so
Okay.
I shouldn't be commenting too much on the Boston Celtics.
So then let's dive into your LA Lakers then.
Let's
So
get it, yeah.
I think last year, and a lot of people really, got after the whole squad about it, especially LeBron being the biggest centerpiece of the team. But I really think LeBron's goal last year in getting on to the team was to figure out what he had. And that's why the season played out like it did, because I think he wanted to just let it play out and see what they had. So now coming into this season, there's a lot of roster turnover. And obviously the biggest fish is Anthony Davis. But there's a lot of really solid accent pieces there. I think the addition of Danny Green was huge too.
Yep, definitely.
What do you see in that team?
I personally really, really like JaVale.
Yeah.
That's my guy, man.
Yeah.
I follow him on Instagram. He's always working out. He might not be the smartest guy, but dang, he tries hard.
He really does.
He's got a good body, and he's built to do some good things, and I'm hoping for him.
He's for me at times in his career, he's frustrated the hell out of me because
Oh
he
my
literally.
goodness.
Because he literally looks like an NBA creative player,
Oh,
right? Like if you were creating yourself in the NBA,
yeah.
right? He looks like an NBA creative player. He looks like the most athletic man on the field on the court.
Yeah.
And at times especially early on in his history, he is just like, man, like what are you doing
Then he
out
go
there?
miss 3 layups in a row.
Yeah,
man.
but you know what? It looks like his time in Golden State has really helped out, and he's a really solid piece on that Lakers squad.
Definitely. And then they got their little brother, the Clippers, hanging out.
Oh,
Getting booed in LA. You hear that? They're
I
getting
did.
booed.
I
Wow.
did. Yeah.
That's cold, man.
Yeah. What do you think of that rivalry
Hey,
now?
we will take the Clippers. If you guys want to send the Clippers to Vancouver, we'll take them. All right, we lost the Grizzlies. Please send the Clippers here because if LA doesn't want them, we'll take them for sure.
Hey, I mean,
makes
Kawhi
great
back up
sense.
in Canada.
That's
I would
great
definitely
marketing.
take
Let's
that.
do
I
that.
would
We
definitely
could
The
take
trade
that.
Vancouver
you guys for the
Clippers.
Canucks
I
or
would
something.
Let's
definitely.
go.
Hey, I would definitely take that too.
Send them over there, man.
Yeah. Get a team back in Vancouver. Come on now, NBA. I know y'all listening.
So how far do you think the Lakers can go? Do you think they're championship viable this year? Do you think they're competing for the championship, or do you think just like getting to the playoffs and being competitive is good enough?
That would be amazing. I'm a diehard fan, and we've been disappointed so many times,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I kind of think it's a little showy. It's a showtime, right? But when it comes down to nitty gritty, those teams that are really banging, they're probably gonna beat the LA Showtimes when it comes down to it, for sure. What do you think?
I think they got the talent to make the playoffs, but I think with what they have there, the recipe for what they have there, it's tentative. You know what I mean? If they can stay healthy throughout, and that's across the board, that's not just LeBron. If they can stay healthy throughout, I think they can actually compete for the playoffs. I think they can get in. Now, when you get into the playoffs, it's all dependent on how much impact playoff LeBron has.
Because of the Warriors situation right
The
now.
Warriors are 2-7 right now.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's like they're
that's-
done.
Yeah, an injury. It's weird. It's like as fun as it was at a lot of times to watch. They clowned on a lot of teams in their dominant years, and it almost looks like the basketball gods are giving them some karma right now
that's
because
real.
injuries have hit them, and they've just been clowned in their own home court by a few teams. Last night, one of those games, I'll give it to them. They played hard throughout, but the Celtics kind of clowned them in their own spot, and that's happened a couple times now. And it's a bummer that Steph Curry's injury is going to either have him out at least half the season, but I've heard rumors about the whole season, which would be really unfortunate.
Yeah.
But one player I want to get some more perspective on for you from you is what's going on in New Orleans. Obviously, a huge roster shakeup. Previously mentioned, Lonzo Ball finds himself on that squad as well. But I like some of the essential pieces they have there. I think they have a good coach, good makeup there, and then obviously the icing on the cake being Zion Williamson. Now,
so tough, man.
I don't like a lot of people are comparing him to LeBron James. I don't think that's right because I don't think they played the same game. In your opinion, when you watch his game, if you saw him playing last year in college, what you've seen of him so far, what do you think his game is like? You don't have to compare him necessarily to just one person, but what do you see out of his game?
To be honest, I actually thought he was going to be a bust.
Really?
Yeah, I kind of had that Anthony Bennett vibe. He's
okay.
super athletic.
Yeah, I feel that though.
If you look at the long term, how old is LeBron now?
It's true.
And he's still taking hate for, but he's athletic as. Can
yeah.
you swear on
yeah,
here?
you can.
He's athletic. He's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Zion's doing this stuff at how heavy is he?
He's 285.
Of course.
285.
Sean Kemp.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So
There you go. Rain Man.
He does remind his game does remind me of Sean Kemp.
The Rain Man.
Oh
I played
my
against
God.
Sean Kemp.
Did you really?
He's old. His son, the golden child, Kevin Kemp, is crazy.
Is he?
Have you seen him at
No,
Dolphin?
no.
This guy has a 6'7" guy hold the ball up just like this, and he jumps up through the legs. Wow. Crazy. Like.
So does he play like Sean?
No, he's horrible. Well, I actually never really watched Sean playing his highlights. That's all I see.
Okay.
But this kid's jump shots
Not there.
But he can dunk.
He's
like
athletic
crazy.
as crazy.
Not in game either.
Yeah.
Dunk contest kills it.
Really? Okay.
Kills it.
So this kid is he's just raw, is what it seems like. He's got
athletic, man.
ability,
You got the
but he
genes from
has
Kemp?
yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kemp was
That's who Zion reminds me of. I can't think of
early
nobody else.
Sean Kemp. Late Sean Kemp was not great to see go out, but early Sean Kemp was explosive and dark. He was one of those players that attacked and never stopped attacking, and he was explosive with it.
Yeah, I'd never seen his game diminish.
No, well, yeah, on the back end a little bit, just because he wasn't as explosive off his legs.
Yeah.
But that happens when you're jumping like he is. It amazes me now. You look at someone like Vince Carter, who such an explosive jumper early in his career. Now an explosive shooter.
Yeah. See, he changed his game though.
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah.
Exactly
Ray
what he
Allen,
said.
one of the best.
Oh my God.
No one even knows that Ray Allen dunked it back in the day.
No.
He was yaga.
People forget about his early. He was
then
in
he got
what was it? He
old
was
and
in
just
Blue
stroked
Chips,
it.
and then he was in what? He got
Jesus
games.
Shuttlesworth,
He
come
got
on
games
now.
against
Oh my God.
Shuttlesworth, come on.
That one scene was the best ever, bro.
Yo, as if they couldn't do a second one of those movies.
Wow.
Jesus
That
Shuttleworth,
was the best
and he's got
one.
his
Oh,
kid
man.
or something like that. You pick some up and coming baller that's just perfect.
One-on-one with Denzel.
Yeah.
Imagine acting that out.
Oh, that would
What
have
did
been
you guys do after? Just sit down and smoke a cigar or something?
pretty much, yeah.
Oh,
That is one of my
great.
favorite sports movies,
Oh,
but that's definitely up there as probably the best basketball movie for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, Ray Allen, and it goes back to what you said early on when we started was fundamentals. You look at Ray Allen's shot,
Oh, man.
you know, and you look at another one who never actually got the advantage of what we're playing with now with the advantage of the 3-point line, Larry Bird. You look at the fundamentals on those guys, and that's why their shot was so dominant and clean. It's just, another one, Steph Curry. So from a coaching angle, it's obviously tough to coach what Steph Curry does, but
I actually talk about him every time.
do you?
Yeah,
Okay,
all the
great.
time.
So talk a little bit about that. How do you use his game as a teaching method?
You get a lot of different shots, right?
Yeah.
Some kids, they shoot over their head, which is hard to get arc, especially when you got little scrawny arms like they do, right?
Yeah.
So Steph, he brings it from real low, and he can shoot from 60 feet. He's not jacked or anything. But that momentum will get the ball up there.
Yeah.
I try to get kids to do that, but they're stuck in their ways a bit. But
Shooting all with the hands.
the
yeah.
most important thing is the flick and the legs.
Yeah.
If you get arc, you give it a chance to get in. That's what Arlen has. A lot of arc in his shot. We're waiting. Kabloosh.
Oh, you're all about the moonshot,
Oh,
eh?
just up there, and I'm in his face. It's bad. Yeah. And then, just trying to see what you're doing wrong and slowly mold it and be consistent in what you're doing right.
Right.
Taking the misses, seeing what happens often, and then taking the makes and trying to emulate or redo that again and again and again.
I got you.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing when it goes in, but air balls are tough.
They are tough. They are tough. So,
It's tough.
so you talked a little bit about Arlen's game. I've seen it, but for those that haven't seen Arlen's game, What's his game like? He's got a nice handle. He's got some range in his shot.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Every football player plays the same, man.
No, that's bullshit.
Tough as
That's
hell.
bullshit.
No, I be coming in full speed trying to dunk for fun, and this guy comes up there and he's just trying to block
Aggressive,
my stuff.
yeah.
No one else does that, man. No one else. And then he'll just take it real strong, like no
Yeah.
one's touching him. Like, why aren't these guys tackling me? Laid
Nah,
up?
that's
Yeah.
not my game.
You're trying to get
Oh,
the, you're trying to get the block and the
Nah.
charge. You're trying to do a blocker charge on everybody
Oh,
right
man,
now.
I wanted to be
Up
an
there, man.
NBA player, not a football player growing up. I told my mom I'm going to the NBA, not the NFL. The
Yeah.
NFL chose me.
There you go.
So, but
Wow.
I'm a basketball guy at
Yeah.
heart, man.
Yeah,
I
you,
love
you
basketball.
got a nice handle with it
And
too.
he can shoot it. He can shoot
And
it.
you can
real
shoot
well.
it.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, bro, I love it. I love
You
it.
should come out to Bonds there anytime.
Yeah, hell
play
yeah.
3
Definitely
times
gonna
a
make
week,
you out
man.
there.
Yeah, there you go.
When I can.
Except this week, where was you at?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I get it in. If I ain't working, hey,
There you
I'm
go.
on the court,
Gotta
baby.
get that paper.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, you spoke to say, like you got to play against Sean Kemp and stuff. But who are some of the other big names that we might recognize that you played against? And then what I want more so than the names of who you played against is what did you have to do as far as your own game to compete with players like that?
Well, I've played against Isaiah Thomas.
Wow.
Yeah. Jamal Crawford.
Wow.
Both amazing guys. Isaiah killed me. He's a dog.
Yeah.
He's short, but he's a dog. He
Yeah.
came down and hit me for 9 in 3 possessions.
Jeez.
9. He went 1-3, 1 and 1 layup, and then an up fake, hezzy 3, and I was destroyed. But I always wanted to guard them.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
I just, if
Go
I
up against the
got-
best.
I got. It's debatable, but I got to steal from Jamal.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
kind of lost it in my direction, but I went full court, and I'm gonna tell my grandkids about it.
There you go.
For sure, Jamal was definitely the best guy.
Mhm.
Just so nice, and he started
Yeah.
recognizing me. We never really talked too much.
Yeah.
He's kind of like a god amongst us,
Fair
just
enough.
mere men. But
Yeah.
and just real nice guy, real straight up, like no trash talk. It's a cool thing to trash talk, but he was just a real genuine guy, look you right in your eyes type
Yeah.
of thing. And yeah, he made the biggest impression on me. He's an amazing guy.
That's
Yeah.
legit.
What's up?
Yeah, but like Kelly Olynyk, Rob Zachary, I grew
Kelly
up with those
Olynyk,
guys.
nice, okay, yeah.
Played against both of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, and then what is it like? I found in football and in Ireland, I'm sure you can say this too. Is when you run into players like that, it pulls something out of you because you raise your own game. So
Yeah, T.O.
exactly.
Prime example.
There you go.
That's who I
So-
played next to for 2 seasons. I learned so much.
And you raise your game, and you come at things different. So what did you notice as far as your own personal growth coming out of games where you matched up against players like that?
Definitely going up against Jamal Crawford and Isaiah Thomas made it easier when I came back.
Yeah.
So I came back and
Yeah.
playing guys that were more my level were a lot easier.
Yeah.
So anybody who's looking to get better, try to go against someone who's way better than you.
Yeah.
Get messed up, right? Can you swear?
Yeah,
Let's go.
you definitely
Say
can.
what
Fucked up,
fuck
and
you
then-
want to say,
and
bro.
then- oh, actually, my Instagram's on, so we can.
Okay,
Don't
okay,
say
okay.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then learn from it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get beat up a little bit. Have you ever watched Dragon Ball Z?
Yes, I definitely
That's
have.
my stuff, man. The
So
Super
be like
Saiyans,
Goku,
they
get beat up,
they
get the
stronger.
sensu bean.
Ah, yeah, sensu bean. Yeah. Oh my God, his power level's 9,000.
Yeah, exactly. And then you raise your game up, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden you're strong enough the second time around to come beat them down.
Can't even stop you. Yeah.
It's true. It's true. That's incredible, man. That's incredible. And so we'll keep going into NBA like this. Obviously now with the strength of the NBA kind of toppling down, it's been the dominant Warriors for years now. But now it seems like the NBA, the whole league is set up for more parity, kind of like what we see out of the NFL, where there's at the beginning of the year we see legitimately anywhere from 8 to 10 to 12 teams possibly that have a chance to go far.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to put you on the spot and say call your champion out. But who are the teams you see putting themselves in position to win? Let's say who are the 4 teams you see it coming down to?
I definitely see the Bucks looking
Yeah.
real good. I mean, they had a
deep.
solid last year, and
Yeah.
then this year they're gonna get better. Tentacumpo's unstoppable.
Yeah, he's
just
nice.
getting bigger and bigger, stronger and stronger, and he can kind of shoot now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's getting more consistent with the 15-foot jumper.
Yeah. And if the Raptors keep playing how I saw them play against LA, they're gonna kill.
Wow,
They're gonna
yeah.
kill. That was a good game.
That was a great
That was
game.
a tough game.
Yeah, it really was.
you couldn't get much out of those Raptors. No bucket wise.
Siakam.
Yeah, he's nice. He's got a good smile too.
He does.
Nice
He
guy.
looks like he's having fun all the time.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then in the West, it's wide open. I love James Harden, but I don't like the Rockets right now.
Their style of play, like I love the way Harden plays, and one of my favorite ballers that's in the league right now is Westbrook by far, just because I just love the way he attacks. I find his game real old school. But that style of game that the Rockets play, I don't think can survive the playoffs. You know,
James he's been shut down using that style a couple times, and he's a thinker. You can tell he's trying to figure out how to beat, and I think he's a real smart guy, man.
yeah.
I think if he can get past missing that one game winner in round 2, and then hitting it later on in the round, and then them catching fire, imagine that.
Yeah,
Imagine that.
it's
You
true.
Can't really stop.
If that team could just mix in ball movement, I think they would be a champion.
I don't think that's happening too.
No, it's not. It really isn't. It really isn't. And then your number 4 team that you think could compete for it?
I think that's wide open, man. I think that's really wide open.
You're not going to say Clippers,
Who are the
obviously.
Celtics? The Clippers. No, Kawhi broke my heart. He broke my heart. Who you saying?
Man, I like the Raptors. I think they're gonna repeat.
Yeah.
I really do, man. Coming out the East and the West, I don't know. I don't really have a team. I like the Warriors. I've never been a Lakers fan.
Cool.
As you're sandwiched by 2 Lakers fans, you got
Yeah, I
quiet.
know. I just, yeah, my daddy was a big Lakers
West
fan. He was
West.
like, "Oh, well, the real game's on." That's what he used to say every time.
It's the show.
So, rest in peace, pops.
And then who else you got?
Shit, man. I don't know, man. I don't really have a team. I like the Raptors this year, man. I really do.
Raptors.
But do you have a rookie of the year or MVP potentially right now?
That's even harder, man.
Yeah.
That's even harder, man. Zion out. What's gonna happen?
John Morant has
John
some
Morant
highlights
looks
the other day.
really nice.
Rookie.
He's not a rookie, but I gotta say the young player that I really like. There's 2 that I really like watching right
I
now.
hope you say it. Go ahead.
So number 1 is Luka Doncic,
That's what I was
love
gonna
his
say. Yeah,
game,
for sure.
and number 2 is Trae Young.
Trae Young's nice, too.
But number 1 and by a long shot is Luka Doncic.
Luka is the
Yeah,
man.
It- I think the whole league during the scouting process when he was coming in slept on the fact that he was playing pro ball for years
Since
before.
17,
yeah, he's what? He's 21 now, I think.
Just
If
a
that, I
grown
think
man,
he's 20.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, and he played in the pros from age 15 to 17. Like this man, you know what I mean? He's got his pelts on the wall, man. He's been in battle, and it shows. Like he's got a real old school game.
Yeah. I also see LaMelo.
Yeah,
NBA
yeah,
soon.
yeah, yeah.
'Cause we all watch this journey, and everybody hates on him. But if you keep striving and surviving after that, you're gonna be tough to beat, right?
I think for him, if I had one moment to give him any kind of advice, it's just when you get into the league, just don't even say anything. Just let your let your game speak for itself
Keep Joe
in the
off the
first like 3-4 months, because this game is nice. Then there's no argument about that. But you're right in saying that everybody hates on him, and it's purely because of all the hype that was around him and his family the past couple of years. So I think if he just came in and worked with it and just balled, there's no room for anyone to hate on him.
Yeah, that's the last name.
there's no room for anyone to hate on him.
Yes, sir.
So what do you think about Carmelo getting another shot?
You know what I think, and because I've been a little bit disappointed in the Blazers game so far, because I think they got a lot of talent on that squad.
Yeah.
But I think they've been
A
pretty
non-guaranteed
inconsistent.
contract.
They've been pretty inconsistent. Well, I think that's what you got to do. You got to be real with the Clippers. Will have something to say about it, but I don't know how far they go, because I think they're a team that could run into some peaks and valleys. But I also do like, even though they're inconsistent right now, I also do like what Portland offers. And then a team that we sleep on a lot is Denver.
So who's a better player, Kawhi Leonard or LeBron James?
Kawhi is definitely way better.
I think right now, yeah, I'd have to agree with that. His game is complete. The one thing though is that it's really tough to deny.
'Cause
It's,
he got
it's like
that
what I
Mike
mentioned.
game,
When
bro.
playoff
He
LeBron
got
comes
game
out,
like Mike.
when playoff LeBron comes out though, you know what I mean? Like we've seen what happens. Like that game when there was, Warriors versus Cavs, and we saw him run down the court and reject Iguodala.
Yep.
Like those are moments that other players don't have. So that's the one thing. Like I'll lean towards Kawhi in my answer, but LeBron is such a wild card because when
Coming
he turns
down
it on, he is deadly as hell.
Kawhi coming down
The
full
one thing I
speed
wish he
with the
would
left
do-
hand
The
dunk.
left hand
Oh
dunk, yeah.
man, come on, that's nasty.
Then he just
Well-
pops it on the rim and it bounces, and we just wait till it goes.
The claw is
Yeah,
legit.
that's
He
serious,
does it all
bro.
the time. Yeah.
And I just wish, and it breaks my heart, man, but I just wish LeBron would shave his head, man. Goddamn.
Damn.
He does. You don't have Arlen's hair, so just chill with it. Be real with yourself, and
go ahead.
either go to Restore or shave it. You know what I mean? He's got enough money to go to Restore. I don't understand. There are other people that have done it.
Oh, I'm keeping my wave.
There are
Nope.
other athletes
Keep
that
my
have done it,
waves. No.
and they got Restore, and they look good, and they have a full head of hair. And he's rocking the lace mid-game. That clip will never go away.
At the end of the day, when you can pick your style of waves that you want, yo, why wouldn't you?
Oh my goodness.
Why wouldn't you? Like, you looking through the catalog and you on the Instagram.
Oh my God, that's too funny. Well, yo, hey, thank you for coming through today. Spending a little bit of time with us, talking NBA,
Hey.
telling us a little bit about yourself and the coaching too.
Definitely.
Just as a final message from a baller, a shooter,
A shooter.
Shoot that thing. That's his motto.
a sniper with it. For all those people listening that are trying to add to their game, get better, they're humble enough to say that they have room to learn. What is the last message you can give to them as a coach?
Go shoot, man. I'm actually trying to find a way to make courts more available to youth and grown-ass men like us in Vancouver. I don't know if you know there's a bridge over there with a hoop under it, the Canby Street Bridge.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a great court. It's a little bit off.
Yeah.
You know, it's got a drain under the hoop, and the hoop's way too high.
Yeah.
Just little things like this that if we can refurbish it and make a great place that's covered for kids and people to play 365, I just think it would just make it more accessible and better.
You know
other
what?
than doing drugs and alcohol, something like that.
Maybe in the summertime when the weather clears up a little bit, we do a little social media thing where
Let's
we get
get it.
where we get the
Segment out.
West Side Lemons. That's what the Hollywood North radio basketball team's called, the West Side Lemons.
The lemons, okay.
We get the West Side Lemons to come out, and we call out a few other people in Vancouver, maybe from a few other spots, maybe from a few, maybe Sleeps I'm sure can help fill out a second roster.
Yeah.
We'll get some people from around town.
I got a friend from Co-op Radio. Shout out Molly on top. I did a
up, Molly?
show with her. You know
Yeah.
Molly?
Nope.
Oh, she's a hooper. She's a hooper.
Yeah, okay, so we'll get Molly to come
Let's
through,
get it, let's
and
get
then
it.
we'll do a little game. We'll maybe get some public attention on it.
Get Red Bull and Nude to come sponsor
Yeah.
the event. We can
We'll-
do it a big event.
We'll
I don't know
definitely
about those news,
we'll
though,
highlight
man.
the
Nasty.
improvements that are needed on the court,
For real.
and maybe
Peanut
we can get
drinks.
something done.
Let's go, man.
You know?
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, you are great at your craft.
Thank you,
my
man.
guy.
Thank
Your
you.
questions are
Thank you.
amazing, yeah.
My God.
Well done. How was the chicken?